Hi everyone, I'm Gary Tucker and welcome back to Advancing with Watercolor. This week I want to introduce you to plein air painting. That means working outdoors directly in front of your subject. I'm going to show you the materials that the watercolorist needs to get started. I'm going to show you how I set them up, and then we're going to do a quick painting of dappled sunlight in the garden. If you have any questions, I hope you'll post them below. Also, the materials that I use are linked in the description. So let's get started. Well, let me show you some of the equipment that I use in the field. I carry everything in a small briefcase and a small backpack, which I'll show you in a minute. Briefcase is about 12 by 16, holds several things that I find important in plein air painting. Let me show you those. This is watercolor paper. It's basically 12 by 16. And it's on a block, so I can use it right off the block if I want, or I can take it off and resize it. I usually carry 3 or 4 sizes with me in the field. This is the one thing that I've made. This is basically a shelf that fits onto my tripod. I'll show you how to put that on and how it works in just a moment, but this also fits into that small portfolio. This is a very important piece of equipment. Doesn't look like much, but on the back there's a little threaded area for a screw to fit into, and the head of my tripod screws right into this. It's a standard size that is used in photography. So this is made by this company. I'll put it in the comments or in the description below, and you can see this online and decide if that's for you or not. I like it because it's very functional. It'll tip up and down as I need it. If I want to control the wash on my painting. Very, very practical. Lightweight, rigid. I've had it for about 9 years. Love it. Also, this is something that is very easy to put together. This is could function as a portfolio. Could also, the way I use it actually, is as a sunshade or a way to block the sun or dappled shadows if I'm painting in shadows. And it's basically corrugated plastic that I can adjust and rest my paper here and get some shade up above. Or if it's raining, it can block the rain as well. So it's pretty functional. I've fastened it in the back using 2 cut pieces from a coat hanger. They simply go in and they hinge together, and easy to clean, durable, lightweight. Also within my portfolio, I carry this little paper viewing screen. I can hold it up, look at my subject, decide what size I want to make it. Do I want to make it vertical? This helps me to block out everything around my subject so that I can see it clearly. And one of our most important tools is the sketchbook, where we can spend a few minutes working out some of the compositional ideas before we commit to a painting. This is the backpack that I use to carry the rest of my supplies. You can tell it's rather small, very easy to carry, lightweight. I carry a water jar here on the side. Inside I have my tripod. The tripod is also lightweight, small. I think this is about 16 inches. And so it's telescoping. The legs come out. Very easy to put together. Let me show you a couple other things. You remember the shelf that I introduced you to? This is how the shelf fits onto the tripod. So these areas that were cut out were measured beforehand, and it's made for this tripod. This won't fit every tripod, but it's a pretty easy design to repurpose if you want to make one for your tripod. Then I can put everything that I want to right here. So here you see the tripod collapsed. I want to show you how I use this part, the small screw that usually will hold a camera or some other photographic device. This is where I place this small hole right over the screw. Eventually you find the hole and you turn the knob until it is very firm, and then you can adjust it. When you're painting, sometimes you want the color to flow down quickly. Sometimes you want it to stop. It's very easy to control that with one finger. You can really adjust this and have it work smoothly for you. So for the watercolorist, this is a very practical piece of equipment. Back to the shelf, I carry a couple other things that help me. This is a bungee cord that I can attach to the top mechanism, and I can hang my backpack from this. The reason I do that is sometimes it's windy outside and this tripod is very light, and when I have that painting standing straight up, it acts like a sail. So some weight is anchored to the tripod is really practical. This bungee cord allows me to hang that backpack so that my easel doesn't tip over in a strong wind. Another thing that I have is a collapsible cup. It's made of rubber. It's lasted forever. This is also maybe 5-6 years old. You can find most of these things at any art store. This fits right into that small hole, and that prevents it from tipping over should I be painting and swing my brush over it. It doesn't tip over and lose all the water. So I also use this to hold my palette. The palette is small. You see me use this in many videos. It's a very cheap palette that you can find on Amazon. The reason I like it is it's small, it's lightweight, and it has a small rubber gasket that goes all the way around the palette. And what that does is when I lock it up, color doesn't spill out. It also keeps the color fresh should I want to use it another day. So this sits right on my shelf like this. Let me give you a better picture of what that looks like. Now what I'd like to show you are some of the brushes that I take into the field. And this is going to be, more of a personal choice. Quite a few brushes here. We really only need half a dozen when we're working in the field. And I've made some holes in this small shelf so I can keep the brushes that I use most often waiting for me, like that. Another piece of equipment that's quite important is this brush caddy. It's important because it extends the life of your brushes. There's a small sponge inside of here that wicks away the moisture, allows you to transport them without messing up the bristles. And one other piece of advice I can share with you is I travel with my brushes facing downward. They're all gonna fall out if I do this. And I clip the bottom so that all the liquid runs in this direction, and that way it doesn't make its way back into the furrow. And should I run out of color, I have plenty in a Ziploc bag here, and that also fits into my backpack. Pencil, eraser, masking tape, all those things travel in this backpack. Why don't we go out to the garden now and set some of this up and do a quick painting so you can see how it works. That was great fun. Oh, I had a great time today. I hope you got some useful information from this video and that you'll be able to step outside into your own garden and do some sketching and painting this summer. Be sure to leave any questions below in the comments section, and also check out my materials list in the description below. See you next time on Advancing with Watercolor.